Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AI Legends, and yeah guys, today I am back with the next part of What If Naruto was a silent prodigy and was denied training by everyone. Well guys, if you guys have not seen the last part of this series, please check it out, and I'm really going to make the next part of this series after it, and hopefully you guys will like it. If you guys have not seen the previous part of it, please check it out and you guys will definitely like it. So yeah guys, without wasting any more of your time, let us start the video. But before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video to come on guys, if you guys are new to this channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It will really help me a lot. And yeah guys, I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below. Please follow me on Instagram, and the name of my Instagram page is simple AI Legends 1234. If you search it on Instagram, you should be able to find it. So please guys, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this channel. So yeah guys, without wasting any more of your time, let us start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that how Naruto was able to pass the preliminary exam still with his mask, as Naruto started to think about his mask when he was literally 5 years old. He was beaten half to the death, and though not many people knew it, Naruto took after his father more than people would rather like to have even third Hokage, as Naruto was quickly able to deduce the idea that people of Konoha does not like him, and for some reason they like to torture him and make his life hell. As Naruto quickly came up with the idea that if we show that how he's a genius, things will not end up great for him. So Naruto decided to make a mask for himself, and he started to live in this mask. But he was no fool. He was able to quickly deduce that he did not have chakra control to simply make a clone jutsu. So a bit of spying, he was able to finally gather the hand signs for the shadow clone jutsu and was able to figure it out. So Naruto was secretly training for all of these years, though Naruto was a bit excited after seeing that Kakashi Hatake is going to be his sensei, but in the end he was just a disappointment. A greater one at that, because Kakashi had no limit to the favoritism which he shows to the great Uchiha or whatsoever. Naruto genuinely did not like Sasuke, but in the honest, he did not care about the brat. Sasuke may like to preach about Uchiha elite and all. He was nothing compared to Naruto, and Naruto could easily tell. Years of training with Shadow Clone as well as the solid clone which Naruto could make himself. So it was pretty easy to, infiltrate the high section of the library and learn many jutsus from there and create his own inventions thanks to the help of thousands of Shadow Clone working each and every day in the forest of death. So for the finals, Naruto decided to ask Kakashi for the training, but Kakashi simply told him that Ebisu will help him in the basics, as Naruto simply scoffed at it. Because Kakashi as well as he himself knew it that Ebisu did not like Naruto and he will not train him whatsoever. While on the other hand, Jiraiya, as Hiruzen told Jiraiya to train Naruto for some time in the whole thing about the finals, but Jiraiya told Hiruzen that he met with Itachi, and Itachi explained the situation and he is a bit worried about Orochimaru going after the last Uchiha, and the village owes Itachi, and Itachi only asked for one thing from the village, that is to help his little brother. So he has decided on the favor which Kakashi has asked him to train Sasuke for the preliminary exam. In if the Uchiha brat seem like Minato, then he will take him as an apprentice, as Hiruzen was pretty disappointed in it. But Jiraiya told him that how the village owes Itachi, and Itachi request must be completed, as Hiruzen gave in and told Jiraiya to train to train Sasuke instead. And yeah guys, that was the last part, and yeah, the battle between Naruto as well as Neji still goes on, as Naruto was easily able to literally destroy Neji within the battle and gave him the Taco no Jutsu. So if you guys have not seen the last part, please guys check it out. I have really made a bit of effort in that part. So yeah guys, and I hope that you guys like the last part of it, and hopefully you guys enjoy this part. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. As the first match of the chunin exam is already over, as many people were literally utterly shocked at the results, as they has already made so many bets that how Neji Hyuga will destroy Uzumaki Naruto within a minute, and so on, as how humiliating the defeat of the dead loss will actually be. So people of Konoha were not so happy about it. Though some of the people finally realized that Naruto was not a dead loss or anything like it, while on the other hand, Shikamaru was simply looking towards Naruto with a curious gaze. So, he has finally deduces the idea that the whole Uzumaki Naruto, he as well as people of Konoha knows, is nothing but a mask, and this is the true personality of Naruto. But still, it left so many, you can say, questions. He as well as Choji knew that Naruto was not well liked within the village, and people despised Naruto's presence, and he knows it when he was just a child. So it was not hard for him to come up with this conclusion, but he thought that it was just a mask so that he can cope with people, you can say, hate with him. But he never realized that Naruto was this strong or could be actual prodigy. So Shikamaru was pretty shocked about this whole development as Naruto finally arrived, while on the other hand Sakura was literally shocked, but she was finally convinced that it was nothing but a fluke and just luck, nothing more than that. Here, the idiot will come and ask her on a date or something like it, and she will tell him that how Sasuke-kun will always do better, as she was simply looking towards Naruto, as Naruto was simply coming towards the participant area where all of his friends were there. To Sakura's little surprise, as Naruto simply literally ignored her, not even looking towards her, as he simply leaned towards the wall as Shikamaru simply looked towards Naruto as he said, troublesome blonde. As he said, so this is your true power, huh, Naruto? As Naruto simply looked towards Shikamaru and gave him a small smile. Well, Shikamaru, I would love to give you answer, but it seems that your match is already up. As Shikamaru grumbled something about troublesome blondes, as he simply looked down to the ground where Tamari was already waiting. As he sighed, maybe I should give up. After all, she's a blonde, so she must be troublesome as well. As Naruto simply chuckled at it, and a single you can say slap at the back of his head as Shikamaru was rolling to the you can say main stadium ground. As Shikamaru was once again in the ground, I just don't want to go into this match. It is going to be same as canon. As Shikamaru simply gave up and Temari simply became the winner. While on the other hand, Gaara was simply looking towards Naruto as well as Sakura was also a bit curious, but she was looking towards, you can say, trying to look out for her Sasuke-kun. After all, Sasuke is to come after some time, while on the other hand, Ino was also looking towards Naruto a bit curious. After all, she was the gossip queen of Konoha, and Naruto was literally changed. And what the hell? There was no orange whatsoever. She just noticed it, and she must say that it looks good at it. Even you can say Hinata was eyeing Naruto for some time, while on the other hand, Naruto had his eyes closed. He was already thinking about different strategies in his mind that what he will do in the next matches. As now, let us cut back to the match as Proctor simply looked towards, you can say, Sasuke was still not there, and they decided to give him another, you can say, some time, as this match is going to be Kankuro versus Shino, as Kankuro simply gave up, and now they are in a tough spot. The people are here to see the last Uchiha fight, and Sasuke is yet to arrive, as Hiruzen simply looked towards Jiraiya, who had a small frown on his face, as Hiruzen simply looked towards Jiraiya and said, Jiraiya, where is Sasuke? As Jiraiya simply shook his head, well, I don't think that Orochimaru's people must have got to him. After all, Kakashi is still with him. Otherwise, I would have sensed a bit of chakra fluctuate. It seemed that Kakashi is trying to make a entry for himself, as he literally frowned at that. He could sense the areas around, trying to sense if Kakashi as well as Sasuke are there. But they are nowhere to be seen or could be sensed, as Jiraiya simply started to curse in his mind. He should have brought the brat with him, but no, he had to leave it in the hands of Kakashi. And what will he say now as Hiruzen frowned at it, as many people were starting to mutter words, as he started to curse under his breath. Now, he simply cannot show favoritism. For 2 times, Sasuke match was already delayed. As he said, alright, we will give Sasuke Uchiha 10 minutes. If he does not arrive here, then he will be disqualified. As Jiraiya let out a frown came to his face, he has trained the brat for the whole month so that he could be disqualified. This is not going to sit well with him. As he simply looked towards his sensei and asking him to give him some more time, as Hiruzen met with his, you can say, gaze with a stern expression. He has already gave Sasuke 2 of his elites to train, and still, if he does not have the audacity to come back here in time, then he does not deserve to be chunin whatsoever. As you can say, Jiraiya frowned at it, while on the other hand, Kazekage or rather known as Orochimaru, was simply looking into the ground with a bit of interest, as well as, you can say, was also wondering where is the Uchiha. After all, he wants to see the power of the Uchiha. He heard some rumors that how Jiraiya started to train the brat. Now things will be a bit difficult because he knows that Jiraiya must have, you can say, suppress his curse mark even further and must have offered him power, being a legendary Sanin and all. And now it would be a bit difficult to get to the Uchiha, but no matter, he knows it, Jiraiya knows it. Sasuke is more like him, Orochimaru. He is not like Minato whatsoever, and Jiraiya must be thinking that prodigy. Minato was a prodigy, Sasuke is also a prodigy, so there was a chance that both of them could be alike, but Orochimaru knows better. After all, he himself was a prodigy, and Sasuke is more like him rather than Minato. As he let out a small smirk came to his face. Well, you old fool, it seems that you're going to hurt yourself once again. Ha, well, that would be much better. As he simply let out a smirk came to his face, while on the other hand, Proctor started to count for some time as he said, as he simply looked towards Hiruzen. As Hiruzen simply nodded at it, as he nodded back, it seemed that Uchiha Sasuke is unable to came on time, therefore he is disqualified for the exam. Now let us cut back to the next match, which is going to be Uzumaki Naruto versus Gaara of the Stand, as there were several people showing their disapprove at that, as Sakura almost got berserk on it as he said, what? How could they disqualify Sasuke-kun? He's Sasuke-kun. They cannot disqualify him like that, as Asuma was already had more than enough of Sakura. Actually, as he looked towards Sakura, the person you're talking about is the Hokage. Sasuke may be an Uchiha, but he's nothing more than a Genin, and Hokage has the absolute authority over all the shinobi, no matter Genin to the Jonin. As Sakura shot a small glare towards, you can say, Asuma, who simply started to leak a bit of, you can say, ki, and the next moment Sakura was simply, you can say, trembling with utter fear as Ino simply looked towards her sensei, that is enough, as Hiruzen, as Asuma simply, you can say, poof away. As Naruto finally arrived to the ground, as Sakura was shooting glares towards Naruto. How dare this baka take the place of her Sasuke-kun, as both, you can say, Naruto as well as Gaara was simply looking towards each other dead in the eyes. Now, Orochimaru did not plan for this. After all, his plan was for Sasuke to fight Gaara, and then he wanted to see how much the Uchiha has progressed and if the curse mark is working properly, as he simply looked towards the match. But before, you can say, Proctor could say begin, as there was a poof in the, you can say, arena, as both Sasuke with the, you can say, same attire as in the canon, as well as Kakashi arrived, as Kakashi said yo. As he looked around the arena to see Naruto there, he was a bit surprised because he was more than sure that Naruto must have been defeated by the hands of Neji within the matter of minute. As a matter of fact, he even betted that Naruto will be defeated within 2 minutes in the whole match. As he was pretty surprised to see Naruto there. As he looked towards the Proctor, his mind was already coming up with conclusions as he said, are we late? As Proctor said, yeah, you're already late. 5 minutes ago, you and the Uchiha is already disqualified. As Sasuke simply glared towards Proctor, what? They cannot disqualify me, I'm an Uchiha. As Proctor simply looked towards Sasuke as he said, well, kid, you may be an Uchiha, but still, you're a Gani and a participant. You are given time, 2 time actually, and your match was delayed. And enough is already enough. So move out of the arena. It's about time for the finals. As Kakashi simply looked towards Naruto. Naruto, you're not ready for this match. I'm your sensei, and I hereby forbid you to participate in this match. As Naruto simply looked towards Kakashi as he said, Hatage, you're no sensei of mine, and this is the finale of the chunin exam, so at least one time stop showing favoritism and get your ass out of this arena and take away your whiny brat with you. As Sasuke saw blood at that, even Kakashi was taken aback from it, as he thought that how Naruto will give up after he will tell him that. As you can say, Genma simply looked towards Kakashi as he said, alright Hatake, remove your brat from here. As he said, well, I'm asking Naruto to leave, but he's not moving. As Genma sighed, I'm talking about the Uchiha. As Sasuke simply glared towards Naruto, huh, Dobe, you think that you're better than me and you have better chance to fight against this freak, just like your kind. As Naruto simply narrowed his eyes towards Sasuke at that. As Sasuke simply looked towards Naruto, alright, I challenge you a fight. If you're able to win this, then go ahead, fight Gaara. Otherwise, I will fight him. Say what to that? As was already having more than enough of this, but before he could say anything, Naruto started to speak. Alright, Uchiha, I'm going to take you up on that offer. I'm going to beat your ass right here and right now in front of everyone. So, how's that? It is up to the Hokage to what to decide now. Now, Hiruzen was a bit of, you can say, this was not planned. He did not expect it. Things to go like this. What is Kakashi thinking? Both of his Genis are at each other's throat. As he simply looked towards Jiraiya, who also had a frown on his face. Well, Naruto may be strong, but he has trained Sasuke himself. He knows that Sasuke was already far beyond the level of Naruto, and at this point, Sasuke will literally destroy Naruto within minutes. He could only hope that Sasuke will go easy on Naruto because, according to the reports, you can say, which both his sensei as well as Kakashi gave him, both of them are somewhat like friends, just like he used to be with Orochimaru, but he simply shook his head as Hiruzen simply sighed as he said, alright, I will allow it. Both Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha will fight, and the winner of this match will fight off against in the finale against Gaara of the Sand. While Hiruzen has already disqualified Sasuke, which means that he will not be promoted as a chunin even if he had the, you can say, the necessary skills. And this is just a match so that people could be pleased to see their Uchiha fighting, as all the daimyo simply nodded at it. After all, they also heard many things about the Uchiha clan, so they also wanted to see how strong he actually will be, and a bit of, you can say, encouragement from the Kazekage, aka Orochimaru. He was able to come to this decision. So he simply announces it as Sasuke let out a small smirk came to his face while on the other hand Sakura was chaining at the top of her lungs, and thanks to the legendary Kekkei Genkai of the Haruno clan of making other people simply deaf, as she was able to, her voice could already be screeching all over the stadium, and many people could, you can say, hear easily. Come on, Sasuke-kun, beat that baka to the ground. Yeah, Sasuke-kun, and things like that. As Kakashi simply I smile. Well, Sasuke, go easy on Naruto. After all, he does not have enough power to go up against you. As Sasuke let out a small smirk came to his face, and now that decided it. Naruto is going to destroy, no, he's going to humiliate Uchiha in front of everyone. And Gaara was not so pleased about it, but no matter, both of their bloods were worthy, and he will have them, and he will kill Uchiha or Uzumaki, no matter who will win, and then in the invasion he will kill the other one as well. After all, his mother was asking for their blood and she will have it. As Kara simply nodded at it as he simply, you can say, sent Sancho in a way. As Sasuke looked towards Naruto with a smirk, well Dobe, ready to lose once again to the might of an Uchiha. As Naruto simply looked towards Sasuke with a passive face, but then he let out a small smirk came to his face. Well, Uchiha, today is actually the day I'm going to beat your ass to the ground and going to humiliate you in front of everyone. As Sasuke simply scoffed at it, as if you have the power to do so. I'm an Uchiha, you're nothing but a clanless loser and could never be more than that. As Naruto let out a small chuckle at it. Well, Sasuke, only if you knew. And only if you knew. At this, Hiruzen's eyes widened for a moment. He was a shinobi of ages. He could easily read lips even from this far away. Even Jiraiya had a small frown to his face. What does that actually mean by it? Does Naruto knows about his heritage? But no, it is not possible, right? As Naruto simply looked towards Sasuke as he said, come Sasuke, allow me to show you your true place, and that is beneath me. And now Sasuke saw blood. How dare this Dobe to insult him? He was an Uchiha, he will not have it. As he rushed towards Naruto, ready to break his face and show him his true place, and that is beneath the elite, such as an Uchiha like himself. As Sasuke rushed towards Naruto, Dobe, as he tried to punch Naruto, as Naruto simply moved around the place and then grabbed Sasuke's punch in a, you can say, lock of the arm and kick his, you can say, kick from the behind, sending him flying as Sasuke quickly jumped into the air and quickly go through handstand and said fast strike, great fireball jutsu. As a gigantic fireball rushed towards Naruto, as Naruto already was going through handstand and said water strike, water wall. As a water wall rose in front of Naruto, as both of these attacks collided with each other, as steam was everywhere. As Sasuke gritted his teeth as he said, huh, alright, you can use water slide, it does not matter. While on the other hand, Hiruzen was wondering how is that possible? After all, there was no water source nearby, which means that Naruto, you can say, collected water from the air just like his old sensei. But when did Naruto learn how to manipulate water to that degree? And why he didn't knew about it? Even Jiraiya was thinking in the same lines. What is even going on here? Even you can say Kakashi as well as the Jonins were impressed as Kakashi had a small frown on his face beneath the mask as Asuma started to speak. Well, Kakashi, I must say that other brat of yours has a great affinity to water. Water, did you not see? There was no water source nearby, and he was still able to bring out a wall of water out of nowhere. As Kakashi was also wondering, hell, he did not even knew what was the affinity of Naruto to begin with, and he did not use any water jutsus in the recent attack, as steam was everywhere. As Sasuke said, huh, my Sharingan can easily track you, Dobe, and you cannot win against me. As he was already chuckling, as steam was everywhere, as Naruto started to chuckle, as he said, well, too bad, Sasuke. You did not see this coming, did you? As Sasuke's eyes widened, as he could see Naruto was getting chakra in his hand, but then suddenly, as a shockwave of electricity started to roam around all the place and rushing towards Sasuke with incredible speed, his Sharingan could see it, but he was not able to see the hand side because of this damn steam everywhere. As Sasuke was electrocuted and was sent flying outside of the steam, and Sasuke was literally, you can say, electrocuted a bit as Hiruzen and everyone was literally surprised. Naruto had two affinities. Hell, they did not even knew about it. And what was that jutsu? Even Kakashi was frowning even further at this point, as Sasuke was a bit electrocuted, but he simply shrugged it off. And then a gust of wind simply, you can say, sent the whole mist flying. As Naruto simply looked towards Sasuke with a smirk on his face. Well, look at that, the Uchiha clan, and that is beneath on his knees as Sasuke gritted his teeth as he stood up once again. Alright, Dobe, I was going easy on you, and now I shall kill you and show you your true place, and that is beneath the Uchiha elite. As he simply looked around the place as he said, huh, now allow me to show you the true power. As he rushed towards Naruto with a taijutsu move, as Naruto also smirked, as he also rushed towards Sasuke as both of them started to release their attack. As Sasuke started to use the same moves such as Lee, which he copied thanks to his Sharingan. As Guy had a frown on his face as he looked towards Kakashi with a serious expression. Did he? As Kakashi gave Guy a eye smile. What are you talking about, Guy? As Guy gritted his teeth, he already knew what was going on. Sasuke must have copied the moves of the Lee thanks to his Sharingan, and he did not like it whatsoever. As even Lee was pretty angry about it. He worked so hard to learn all of those moves and trained so hard day in and day out, and came and Uchiha with his, you can say, thief eye and simply copied it. Now Lee and Guy were pretty, you can say, casual persons and never get angry about things, but this definitely made them pretty angry. As Guy simply looked towards Kakashi, who was simply ignoring Guy, and just made Guy even further angry. But he did not say anything. But to most people's surprise, as Naruto simply jumped within the air and then you can say tried to kick Sasuke, who was able to block his kick thanks to his both of his arms, and try to, you can say, slam Naruto to the ground, but he simply vanished as Naruto rushed towards Sasuke as both of their fists meet with each other, as Sasuke let out a scream of utter pain and agony as he simply, you could say, jumped back as he could see all the bandits that were in his arm were literally shattered, and they were small wind blades cutting his, you can say, hand pretty badly, and there were several cuts on his hand as he was gripping his hand as he shot a glare towards Naruto, who was simply smirking as Asuma, you can say, secret simply dropped to the ground as he simply looked towards Naruto as he said, Kakashi, you did not told me that brat has the wind affinity. As Kakashi at this point has a large frown on his face. Even from the outside, people could see that how he was not so pleased about it, and he was literally surprised as at this point Naruto has used three affinities and Sasuke was gripping his hand pretty badly. As Kakashi did not knew about it, even Asuma was wondering how did he do that. If people were to channel their wind chakra to their arms, they will be literally invincible in the whole Taijutsu battle. But the problem was that the wind was pretty dangerous of an element, offensive one to begin with. So if people were to, you can say, simply channel a chakra such as wind to their arm, there is a high possibility that they will cut themselves pretty badly to the point when they will not be able to become a shinobi whatsoever. That was the main reason Asuma always used his knives to channel his wind chakra because of his destructive nature. As Naruto simply looked towards Sasuke with a smirk on his face. Well, Uchiha, mind telling me, how does it feel to be on the opposite end of the humiliation? As Sasuke gritted his teeth as he quickly go through handstyle. It does not matter, Dobe, you will die. Fast style, fire dragon jutsu as he released a gigantic fire, you can say, dragon towards Naruto, who started to go through handstand and said, wind style. Wind tornado as a gigantic wind, you can say, tornado started to form within the middle of the stadium as Sasuke left with a smirk. Dobe, it proves that you're nothing but a loser. Wind is weak against fire. It will only make my fire jutsu stronger. As well as Jiraiya also nodded at it. It seemed that Naruto made a fatal mistake in this battle, though he was literally shocked, impressed, saddened, and a bit guilty as well at the same time. He was looking towards the battle. It seemed that he was given the wrong information. Naruto had all the basics down to the point where he can even manipulate his elements and has mastered manipulation of elements of at least 3 elements. And there was something telling him that there were even more surprises and shock waiting for him. As Naruto simply smirked at Sasuke, or really now, as all the, you can say, fire from the fire dragon was simply absorbed into the tornado, as well as now it was a fire tornado and it was still rushing towards Sasuke's, you can say, towards the direction of Sasuke, who was literally shocked at that. As Sakura speak up, Kakashi sensei, how's that possible? I read that how wind jutsus are weak against fire. It should be that tornado should be going towards Naruto Baka, not Sasuke-kun. As even Kakashi was about to answer, as you can say, Asuma speak up, well, it may be true, Haruno, but there is a bit of problem. You see, the technique which Sasuke Uchiha has used is nothing but a, you can say, higher C to B level technique, while on the other hand, Naruto's jutsu, though I have never seen in my whole life, though it is possible that I must have not seen it, or it could have been existed, or it could be possibility that he made that jutsu himself. But if I were to rank that jutsu, it would be at least low A rank to mid A rank jutsu. So wind jutsu is so much powerful that the fire jutsu did nothing but to power it up. At this, several people had frown on their faces as Sasuke started to move around the place trying to use Sunshine. But as you can say, after reaching to a point as the whole wind tornado started to get disabled and there was a burst of fire and wind chakra sending Sasuke flying into the wall as he gritted his teeth on that. Now he was bleeding a little from his body. How dare this Dobe to be better than him? He refused to accept it. He will not accept it no matter what. As he shouted a glare towards Naruto, who had an amused look on his face as if taunting him to do something about it. As Sasuke saw blood on it. As Sasuke had already activated his Sharingan. Alright, Dobe, I'm going to kill you no matter what. As he started to make handstand as Jiraiya had a small frown on his face. He told the Uchiha to not release those seals, but it seemed that he wants to increase his speed even further as gravity seals that were on the body of Sasuke started to disable. As Sasuke let out a smirk as he vanished within a blink of an eye. As most of the people were surprised as Kakashi, who previously had a frown on his face, he gave a eye smile. He was worrying for nothing. Naruto is just a loser, and Sasuke will bring glory to the Uchiha clan as well as to his teachings. And now, since Sasuke is going to take the match seriously, it will end soon enough. As Sasuke rushed towards Naruto, as Naruto was simply, you can say, looking into the sky for some time as Sasuke was about to deliver a punch to the face of Naruto. As Naruto literally grabbed the arm of the Uchiha, shocking him even further. And next thing Sasuke knew, he met with a kick to his face, sending him flying. As this time there was still wind chakra around his kick, sending Sasuke flying into the same wall in which he came from. As many of the people were literally shocked as Kakashi was already explaining the gravity seals that how Sasuke was holding back and now the match is over. And next thing he knew Sasuke was sent flying back into the same wall in which he came from, having several cut marks on his face. Oh, now Sakura saw blood. How dare that Naruto Baka hurt Sasuke like this, and her Sasuke precious face, not his face, as she glared towards Naruto even further and started to throw insults at him. Though Naruto, you can say skillfully, ignored her. As Naruto was a bit surprised when he saw, you can say, started to sense a bit of chakra signature beneath his foot. As Naruto decided to jump out of the way, as Sasuke, you can say, or rather, a shadow clone of Sasuke, jumped out of the, you can say, ground as he started to huff and puff and simply vanished. As Naruto simply looked towards Sasuke, who started to chuckle as he said, "Huh, well, Dobe, how does it feel that I used your own jutsu against you?" As Naruto started to chuckle, well, coming from a member of a thief clan, you must have, you can say, theft my jutsu thanks to your theft eye. As Sasuke glared towards Naruto even further, as Naruto let out a chuckle, but then again, even if you are able to copy my Shadow Clone Jutsu, you can never use. As a matter of fact, I'm even willing to bet that even all the Uchiha's history, no one, even the mightiest Uchiha, will not be able to use that Jutsu to a degree which I can use. I can literally make thousands of clones. Even you with a single hand sign, while on the other hand, you made a single one, and look at the condition of that one. Single attack he delivered, and is already dead. As Sasuke gritted his teeth, it was true. Sasuke's limit was nothing more than one clone, and that was it. More than that, he will be on the serious, you can say, chakra exhaustion. As even though Jiraiya told him to not use it, as Kakashi told him to use it as a trap against whatever opponent he will fight, as Sasuke gritted his teeth as he said, so you may be faster than me, but now it ends here. As his hand started to cackle with lightning all over it, as Naruto said, so now we're going to use Chidori, huh? As Naruto simply smirked at it as he said, the most favorite thing about lightning is Sasuke. And Sasuke gritted his teeth, and what would that be, Dobe? As he said, well, it may be destructive, but it could be controlled. As Naruto's hand started to, you can say, cackle with the same lightning, as there were several gasps could be heard, as you can say, lightning chakra was all over Naruto's body, as he started to change his shape and came into the form of a Chidori. As Sasuke gritted his teeth, this was his most prized technique, which Kakashi Sensei taught him himself. How did Naruto, this Dobe, got this technique? Even Kakashi was literally surprised. He never taught Naruto Chidori. Well, come to think of it, he never taught him anything. But then again, he did not deserve it. After all, Kakashi was an elite and Naruto was nothing but a loser. So he was not worthy of the teaching of someone like Kakashi himself. As Kakashi was little surprised, how did Naruto learn Chidori? And it is his personal jutsu. Naruto has no right to use it without his permission. As he gritted his teeth on that, as Naruto simply smirked at it, but then a small smirk came to the face of, you can say, both Kakashi as well as Sasuke. As Sasuke said, well, Dobe, so mind going through this? Let's see whose Chidori is more powerful. As Naruto let out a small chuckle at it, he already knows what Kakashi or Sasuke are already thinking as he said, well, let's see, Sasuke, whose Chidori is actually more powerful. As Sasuke smirked at it, alright, as both of them started to rush towards each other with incredible speed. As Asuma simply looked towards Kakashi with narrowed eyes. What are you thinking, Kakashi? As Kakashi gave him an eye smile. Nothing much. I'm just thinking that how much of a fool Naruto actually is. As this affront came to many people's face, many people were literally impressed that Naruto was able to learn a technique such as Chidori with little to no trouble whatsoever. But there was a bit of strange thing about Naruto's technique. Sasuke's, you can say, technique was simply saying with all the, you can say, thousand birds of Troy, it is the name of Chidori, as it was making sound literally, while on the other hand, Naruto's hand was all over his, you can say, lightning was all over his head, but there was not even a single, you can say, sound coming from the whole technique, as both of them rushed towards each other, as Sasuke said, Chidori, as both of the attacks, you can say, the next thing people saw that Sasuke was in the one side and Naruto was on the other side. You know the whole thing. dynamic thing as both of them looked back towards each other, and next thing people saw, Naruto was on his knees and clenching his shoulder a little as Kakashi had a smirk on his face, and same with Kakashi as Kakashi started to explain, well, you see, Chidori is a dangerous technique. It, you can say, make a people run faster than they could actually see, which means that if a person other than an Uchiha or the one who has a Sharingan in his eye were to use this technique, they will have, you can say, tunnel vision, and then they will not be able to use the technique, which means that Naruto, Baka cannot use the technique, right? Kakashi sensei, as Kakashi simply nodded at it, only Sasuke as well as he himself can use it, and now since Naruto has used it, he's in dangerous trouble. After all, Kakashi did not approve of Naruto using the technique, it was his technique, only he can give it to someone. So Naruto will be in serious trouble with council when he will file the complaint to Hokage himself. As and then you can say most of the people were thinking as Janma looked towards the, you can say, the arena, it seemed that even with the brilliant, you can say, performance of the Uzumaki, he lost to the Uchiha. Well, he should not have used the technique and should have, you can say, made a bit of difference between himself as well as the Uchiha. But before he could say anything, Sasuke was on the ground as he was clenching his chest literally. As then a chuckle started to came to his face as Naruto finally stood up, as people were literally shocked as steam was already coming from the shoulder of Naruto, who was simply, you can say, looking towards Sasuke with a, you can say, smirk on his face. As Sasuke gritted his teeth, he tried his best to came to his, you can say, legs, but no, he was leaking blood and dangerously as he gritted his teeth as he looked towards Naruto. How and why? As Naruto simply smirked at that. What are you asking, Sasuke Kun? As Sasuke gritted his teeth, why did you close your eyes when you were using the Chidori? As Naruto started to chuckle even further, as people were literally shocked as Kakashi was trying to come up with the explanation. What is going on here? Sasuke should have been able to hit Naruto thanks to his Sharingan, and Naruto should not have been able to even land that attack on Sasuke to begin with. And what is Sasuke talking about of using Chidori when his eyes were literally closed? As Naruto let out a small smirk came to his face as he said, well, Sasuke-chan, it is pretty simple. As many people were wondering as well as thinking about how could Naruto, you can say a dead loss, a loser, a dobe, could use such a high level technique and could, you can say, eliminate the only flaw which made it only usable to the Uchihas. As Naruto simply smirked at it as he said, and what makes you think that I used the Chidori to begin with? As Sasuke gritted his teeth, that was Chidori, I know it. As Naruto let out a chuckle as he said, well, for all the, you can say, so-called the assassination technique, it is pretty loud of a technique for my own taste. Though, you can say it is a product of Chidori, nothing more than that. Your so-called Chidori, or rather known as thousand birds chirping, it's was making way too much sound, while on the other hand, my technique was not on the shape of Chidori, nor it was making any sound whatsoever. It was just like, you already know, a arrow shape. So my technique is actually superior to his predecessor, or whatever you like to call it, Chidori, thousand birds, whatever. As Sasuke gritted his teeth as many of the Jonin started to, you can say, whisper things in each other as Kakashi gritted his teeth on that, as he was trying to improve Chidori himself for years, but he was not able to do so thanks to his, you can say, wasting time with his Ichicha paradise. Well, that is beside the point. And Naruto was able to drive a technique, and now he simply cannot file complaint because it is just a inspired jutsu. Nothing more than that. As Naruto let out a smirk, while it may be possibility that it still give me the same trouble as a Chidori, you must be talking about the tunnel vision, aren't you, Uchiha? As Sasuke gritted his teeth on that as he said yes. As Naruto smirked at it, well, it is pretty simple why I close my eyes. So that I can eliminate the only problem. You see, Uchiha, when you use a normal person uses the Chidori, they have the tunnel vision in their eyes. So, tell me, what will happen if we remove the factor of the eyes to begin with? If I were to close my eyes, then there will be no tunnel vision. At this, there were several gasps could be heard across the whole arena. As Sasuke gritted his teeth, it does not explain anything. I should still be able to dodge your your attack, you change it at the last time when your eyes were already closed and you were able to, you can say, dodge my technique. I was aiming for the heart. As many people gasped at that, even Jiraiya had a frown on his face. He did not knew that had this much hatred in his heart that he would try to kill Naruto. As Naruto let out a chuckle as he said, "Well, it's pretty simple, Uchiha. You may not know it, but I have been training for years. Each and every of my sense is strong enough that it can lead me without the others. For example, even if I were to be, you can say, close my eye, I can simply rely on my hearing, on my sense of touch, on my sense of smell. All of my hearing and all of my other senses are so sharp. I have trained each and every sense of mine, so I can literally use Chidori without even using my eyes. I can predict your move with the air particles when you move. They change their direction. I can sense them. I can hear you. I can smell you. And I can use my attack even without the use of my eyes, as there were several gasps could be heard. Now, they know how to use Chidori without even using their eyes, but it could only be used by a shinobi who has trained literally for years in their senses. Well, thanks to the help of thousands of shadow clone, Naruto already has, you can say excel in this area. As Naruto let out a small chuckle at that as he said, "Well, Proctor," as he looked towards Proctor, "you should end the match. You can already see the Uchiha is already losing too much blood, and this explanation I have already given it. So end it already." And Sandy is humiliated as back to the hospital as Sasuke gritted his teeth as he tried to stood up, but it was to no avail. He had already lost so much blood and he was already feeling a bit dizzy. He got humiliated in the hole. You can say he was a ninjutsu specialist, but no, all of his ninjutsu arsenal was nothing compared to this dead loss. His taijutsu was rendered useless, his speed was nothing, and even his own technique, the Chidori, his own prized technique, was literally destroyed by the other technique he saw when his hand made contact with Naruto's. Naruto's lightning, literally, you can say, shattered through his own and struck him in the chest while on the other hand changing the direction and hitting Naruto on the shoulder, and by looking towards Naruto his wound was already cleared as he cursed in his mind and made a mental promise that he will destroy the Dobe no matter what. While on the other hand, there were several gasps could be heard across the arena as Kakashi was glaring towards Naruto with all of his hate. As Kakashi could not believe it, he has trained Sasuke for 6 months. Even the training he gave Sasuke as well as Jiraiya, he got lost as he was already waiting for the whole glory and things like it. That how great of a sensei he actually was to train one of the geniuses of this generation. But no, Sasuke got lost to a dead loss. He could not even believe it. As if Obito was taunting him. It was as if all of his beliefs that only the, you can say, the strong prevail and the losers will always remain losers. As it was the same thing, he could see, already feel Obito laughing at him and telling him that how, with all of his training and all of it was nothing, and how a loser could easily beat his prize student as he shot a glare towards Naruto and simply went off to see his prize student once again. Even Jiraiya was a bit sad as well as happy at the same time. He was sad that how, you can say, his student lost, but at the same time sad at the same thing that how he did not saw a budding prodigy such as Naruto, and he decided to, you can say, follow the reports of Kakashi as well as the sensei. He should have seen that kid himself. He was already coming up with the several theories that Naruto must have, you can say, stopped or rather hid all of his talent as well as all of his skills from the other members of his team as well as from the village. Though he has to do a bit of research about it, why that actually was the case. But at this point, he was also a bit sad about the whole situation and happy that his godson was able to win the match, as even Hiruzen was literally shocked. He did not, you can say, expected this even when Naruto defeated, you can say, Neji. Well, deep down, he also thought that it was some fluke or some luck, though now he simply cannot, you can say, reject the idea that Naruto was a prodigy among prodigies and he was hiding his skills. Though he need to have a talk with Naruto. How did Naruto learn all of these things and why he did not tell him? And when he decided to learn all of this, because even with the help of thousands of shadow clone, Naruto could not learn and gain that type of speed within a single month. It is literally not possible. And he was already coming with some theories if QB was helping him or influencing him or something like it. While on the other hand, Danzo was looking towards Naruto with, you can say, calculative eyes. It seemed that the Jinchuriki was not as talentless as he was told. Well, this would be interesting. Maybe he could get him for his root as now. Okay, guys, here we left this part. In the next part, we shall see the battle between Naruto and Gaara, the invasion, and things like that. And so, yeah, guys, tell me in the comment section if you guys like to add something in the whole story. So, I will think about it. So, yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. And please, guys, subscribe, and subscribe. It will really, really help me a lot. So, yeah, guys, peace.